This is the Nintendo Wii. It's the gaming console I grew up with. And while everyone else was playing Xbox and PlayStation, I was playing the Wii. And while the Wii system is great, I've always thought it had a major missed opportunity, the ability to customize your controller for different games. So since I'm a Lego inventor, my idea is to design a custom Lego case for the Wiimote that allows you to completely customize the functionality and style of your controller. I literally came up with this idea when I was like 11. So the question is, will I succeed in creating my childhood dream, or will this be a complete disaster? We're about to find out. The first step is to build a basic case around this with a bunch of attachment points so we can completely customize this later. 5 by 19. And we need a hole here, here, the entire top, and the front. So literally we're just gonna go around the sides. Bam, look at that. We got the trigger down here. Obviously that's really uncomfortable, but it does give us a lot of room so that we can put a trigger mechanism down here, turn this into any weapon we want, and we can also attach it to anything at the top for any game. So, I still have no idea if this is gonna work. All right, so this is the case, the basic case we have. You can see there's a lot of points for connection here. You can also see all the buttons are visible except for the off button. But I mean, who even uses that, you know? Also, it's important to leave this open and this thing down here so you can push the button. Now that we have the customizable controller case, the first build I wanna try out are some Wii Sports accessories. So now we're gonna build a tennis racket for Wii Sports. I put this mounting system on here. Basically, it'll be clipped in at the top here. We'll fold it over and attach it right here. So now we just gotta come up with a tennis racket shape. The main thing we gotta keep in mind is,
hey, what's not going to fly off and hit the TV while we're swinging this around?
That looks very tennis-y, right? Look at that, guys. We'll have to make it stick together. Let's try replacing it with these things, which are clickable, so they might hold together better. They might also not, so. All right, I think this will work. I replaced all the pieces, so now, man, every time. Okay, I think we fixed it. All right, so prototype number, whatever the heck this was, actually works. So now we can just attach it to this, and then we just gotta make this look better, and when it, why? And then we can test it. Disclaimer, don't swing this around too hard, because it may or may not fall off and break your eye. So you attach that, and then basically, you have a tennis racket now, and you can see it still works. Oh, it didn't like that. Didn't like that either. There we go. Okay, there we go. It had a little issue starting out. Honestly, this one isn't good for Lego. I wouldn't build the tennis racket just because there's so much swinging involved. We'll build the next one, but I don't think this one's a good idea. But you know, that's just because of the safety hazards, so. Cut the camera. All right, now that we've got our tennis racket all complete, we're gonna build a golf club, because who doesn't love Wii Sports Golf? I do. Such a great design, right guys? We need long pieces. Now we're not gonna make this huge because that would just be stupid. At the bottom here, build up our golf club shape. Come on guys, that's a golf club. I totally know what I'm doing, yeah. Look, we'll go here. Now we just gotta cover the whole thing in plates. All right, now we just gotta attach our golf club shape to the connector that will connect it to this, and then we can test it. All right, so if you take off the tennis racket accessory, I built this little mini golf thing. It kind of looks like one, and you just kind of slap it on the side. Oh, is it really gonna teach me how to do all this? Yeah, how do you? Wow, I'm really scared this is gonna come off. Look at that, look at that. Hey, that's not horrible. Watch this. I don't know if the Wii Sports is a good idea for this. I think the main use for this is gonna be the games that you sit down with, because then you can really customize it. But with the Wii Sports stuff, it just breaks off. See, look, it works way better without like the, oh. See, look, it's out of the park. Okay, so the Wii Sports accessories didn't really work at all. but I still really like the idea of the customizable weapon accessory that I came up with when I was a kid. So I wouldn't do that. But we still have this. When I was a kid, one of my favorite games to play was called GoldenEye, and it's on the Wii, and it has a bunch of weapons to choose from. So basically we need to get a mechanism for this trigger so that when you push the trigger on the handle, which we can connect, it will then pull this trigger back right here. We can add a laser on top. We can add whatever we want. And I'm taking inspiration from the Wii Zapper they created a couple of years ago. The only issue with this is you can't customize it. You can't build it custom. So we're gonna make this front shape here, and then we can also make the back shape. If we wanna use a semi-automatic weapon, we can just add on this back part to the back of this. First step, the trigger mechanism. I don't know how to do this. Technique. We basically just need to pull this backwards. Okay, let's build up a dirty handle. So if we have something like that there, now we can center it. Bam. I'm thinking, what are the chances we can do that? Hey, we're getting there, look at that. Now that we got that part, we're gonna throw this piece right here. We just need a certain linkage mechanism under here that I'm having trouble designing. Okay, so now we got this. Essentially, when you push the back of this white piece, it hits the button. So now we need to figure out how to get this to translate into that, pretty much. All right, now as you can see, we have a functioning trigger. You can see it just bumps the B button. So now we just gotta finish up the handle, and we should have a pretty good controller for the first weapon. The cool thing about this is in the GoldenEye game, you actually move around by angling your controller like this. So you can actually have the joystick in this hand, the weapon in this hand, and you can shoot, aim, but this is how you move in the game. So that's what makes it perfect for this game. Now, the laser on the top. We can't use an actual laser pointer because that'll mess with the IR frequencies, so we just need to build one that looks cool, like a laser sight. Now, just throw some jumpers on there. Great, and now, get this piece. All right, now we got our laser. Now the next thing we gotta add onto this is the back part, which will have this thing. We wanna add a little extension to this, which will let it snap into the back of this. And then you can have like an automatic weapon, and you can take it off. When you switch to your secondary, obviously, you just, let's build that up real quick, and then we can test it and see if this was actually worth it. All right, so this is your normal Wii setup. As you can see, you can walk around. I'm on paintball mode because I like it better. If you hold this in this hand, that's how you move around. How you move side to side is just by doing this with your remote. So this is basically the remote we built earlier, as you can see. And then we can attach our weapon to it. So as you can see, if we just attach that there, boom. Just like that, now we can do this. And we have to connect the nunchuck, otherwise it doesn't let us play. We can also put on this laser like that. So check this out. You can see we're now on the top screen of this game, and I can control it just like this. Just by hitting the trigger. Oh man, this feels so cool. Now it's reloading. This is how you move around, but if I want to switch to my secondary weapon on there, and so if you want to connect these and go back to your main, you just switch on there, and then look right here. You just connect this in like that, and now, this is so cool. Yes, let's go. This thing is actually super cool. And then when you want to go back to your pew pew, you just unplug and switch to the pew pew. And then you can just, you can see, you just control it, move it around. This is a really, really cool setup, especially since we built it in Lego. I really like GoldenEye because you can zoom in and move around like this. Ella, try this.
Okay, seriously?
So what do you think about it, Ella?
It's pretty cool, Riley. Good job.
You think so? I think it's pretty sick. Yeah, it feels
cool.
really cool
Yeah.
to hold. So you can make this any way you want it to look. So if you want a longer thing or a shorter one, if you want a magazine you can take in and out. And this was my entire childhood. So after all that, was I successful in creating an idea I had when I was like 11 years old into an actual invention? I'd say this was a huge success. I'd really love to do this with different gaming consoles, so if you guys want to see me do this with a PS5 or a Nintendo Switch or an Xbox, comment down below. If you guys want to see another cool video, click this one because that's when I built the world's strongest Lego L motor. I literally could not stop it. And check out this video where I built genius Lego gadgets.
Well, that was fun.
Subscribe.